Released in America on April 5th, 2016 for PS4 and Steam, April 5th, 2017 for Xbox, and December 14th, 2017 for Nintendo Switch, Enter the Gungeon is a twin-stick bullet hell roguelike that I absolutely adore. I don't remember how I learned about this game, but all I know is that after I did, I was practically counting the days it took for this game to release. It was my first big indie experience when I had a PS4, and it was glorious. Being a bit of a bullet hell nut, I immediately clicked with this game and played it until I beat it with every character. But I'm getting ahead of myself. For now, let us start with the story, as we reminisce on Enter the Gungeon. The story goes that on a distant planet there was a fortress that housed a special artifact, a gun that could kill the past. Basically a gun that could take you back in time so you may overcome your biggest regret. One day, a deadly force decimated the fortress. Fearing that the gun that could kill the past could be taken easily, the fortress was rebuilt by cultists and the planet's residents, fitting the fortress with extreme security measures to dissuade anyone from trying to take the gun. However, in come 6 Gungeoneers that are here to do just that. These 6 adventurers have their own backstories that you will learn once you use the gun that could kill the past. The pilot is a smuggler who was found stealing cargo owned by the Imperial Hegemonia Man, which I believe is supposed to be the military force in this world, with his friend Z. When caught by the HM Absolution, the pilot was ordered to surrender. Instead of getting caught or fighting back, he ran away, leaving his friend Z to be captured. The convict, otherwise known as Laser Lily, was the head of a crime organization. She bribed a hegemony official by the name of Black Stash to overlook her crimes. In turn, he took the money, betrayed her, and sent swarms of hegemony soldiers to raid her headquarters. She was captured and sentenced to life in prison, but escaped and ran for the Gungeon for a second chance. The Hunter was originally going to stop the plans of a mad scientist by the name of Dr. Wolfenclaw. However, she was captured and stored in a cryogenic pod for over 1,000 years until she somehow escaped and went off towards the Gungeon. The Marine was a guard stationed at a research and development department when an experiment went wrong and unleashed an eldritch abomination into the facility. When told of the circumstance, the Marine decided to take an escape pod, leaving the scientists and the other guards to take on the threat by themselves. The robot, one of the unlockable characters, was a member of the Killbot army. He was sent on a mission to kill the leader of the human resistance, but ended up breaking protocol and failing his mission. And finally, there's the Bullet, the other unlockable character, who is a weird case because he doesn't need to kill his past. Going back only really shows how the Bullet got his sword, but he already has that sword by default, and that's not even how the gun is supposed to work. But okay, fine, I'll roll with it. That was the story and backstory, let's move on to the gameplay. The game begins with you in the hub area, also known as the Breach. You pick a character and go down into the Gungeon. You roam around shooting at enemies, finding chests that contain items and weapons to give yourself an edge, killing off the boss of that chamber, and progressing onward until you die or reach the end. The main game mechanic in this game is the dodge roll. With a press of the button, you'll roll in the direction you choose, and while you're rolling, you'll be immune to any damage. You can also roll to jump over pits or put yourself out if you catch on fire. It's a great mechanic that benefits you more and more as you get better at the game, allowing you to beat bosses even if you don't get a lot of good weapons on a run, which is an issue a lot of people have with roguelikes. Besides your starting equipment, a way to tip encounters in your favor is by using blanks, a pickup that clears up all of the bullets in the room and also prevents any bullets from enemies to spawn for a short time afterwards. You can also utilize objects like barrels that can be pushed to distract the enemy or can be shot at to explode or leave liquids like oil or poison, and tables that can be used as cover from enemy fire. Defeated enemies have the chance to drop casings, which can be used at shops in the Gungeon. Shops can hold items, weapons, health, blanks, armor that can take a hit for you, and keys to unlock chests. Chests are found in treasure rooms and in most instances require a key to unlock them. Chests hold weapons and items, and depending on the color of the chest, it determines the quality of the weapon or item you're gonna get. Needless to say, chests can help you out a lot, but be warned, this is a game that remembers that mimics exist, so you should probably watch out for those. Also on your pilgrimage, you might come across a gold key. Explore more of that chamber and you'll you'll find an NPC locked up in a cell. Let them out with the gold key and they will either appear in the breach or as a recurring character in the Gungeon. All of these NPCs do different things like making their own shops, giving you side quests in exchange for rewards, and even rebuilding the elevator in the breach to skip to certain chambers of the Gungeon. And that, alongside the many guns and items with different abilities and stats, secret rooms, secret chambers, and random occurrences like shrines with different ways to interact with them, makes this a game where you should probably have the wiki up on the side to have a smooth experience. And we're still not done because there's still the characters. Each character has their own default weapon with infinite ammo and an item that helps them on their way. The pilot has lockpicks that can be used to possibly open chests without the need for a key, a compartment to hold a second active item, and he also gets a 15% discount at shops. The convict has a sawed-off shotgun along with her default weapon, a Molotov, and a photo of black stash that causes you to do double damage upon getting hit for a short time. The hunter has a crossbow along with her default, and she has a dog that has a 5% chance of digging up a pickup when you complete a room. The marine can call in for an ammo drop once. He has a book that decreases reload time and increases accuracy, and he starts off with a piece of armor that's visually represented by his helmet. Out of the 4 initial characters, the Hunter and the Marine are the more beginner-friendly characters, with the Convict and the Pilot being more strategic. The Pilot, especially since his default, is the worst out of the other 3. After beating the past of one of the characters, you can unlock the Bullet. This is done by stumbling upon a red-cubed bulletkin in a room while exploring the Gungeon. These enemies wander aimlessly and do not attack. If you stay in a room with them alone and do not kill it, it will disappear after a short time. Do this 5 times and the Bullet will be unlocked. The Bullet is honestly my favorite character to play as. His default weapon is a sword called Blasphemy that shoots sword beams when you're at full health, and can be swung to damage enemies and destroy enemy fire. This, plus the fact that he's also immune to enemy contact damage, makes for a character that can not only play it safe from afar, but also get up close and personal. The last unlockable character is the Robot. After you repair the elevator in the breach once, you can find a busted TV in the elevator shaft of the 2nd chamber. You must take this busted TV to the blacksmith in the 5th chamber, while she'll repair it and thus unlock the Robot. The Robot is probably the most difficult character to play as, since it doesn't have hearts but armor as health. This means the only way to get more health is to get more armor pieces the normal way, or by getting an item that would normally increase your health. To help out with this slight increase in difficulty, the Robot's default weapon, its right hand, is the strongest default weapon in terms of damage per second. Its active item is spraying water on the ground, and its passive is electrified bullets, which electrifies any water that the bullets pass over and doubles your accuracy. There's technically a 7th character known as the Cultist, but he's exclusive to co-op and doesn't really matter in the long run. As you can tell, Enter the Gungeon has a lot to it, and again, I highly recommend you have the wiki up to help you out. While your in-game glossary, which is called the Ammonomicon by the way, can help, the wiki will tell you more things about your weapon and items than even the game. But once you get into it and start knowing how everything works by heart, you'll find a roguelike that's incredibly satisfying to play, and is probably my favorite roguelike ever. Enter the Gungeon is a fast-paced hectic romp that is fully encapsulated in its aesthetic. Its high-bit pixel art and oodles of charm makes for an amusing, intense, and spectacularly made game that will entertain you for hours and hours on end. There's even a big update for the game called Advanced Gungeons and Dragons coming sometime in the future, supplying even more guns, items, rooms, and bosses to the game. It's truly an amazing game, and I can't recommend it enough. With all that said, that is all I have to say about Enter the Gungeon. Let me know what you guys think about this game, but only if you want to. Guys, be safe out there, and thank you so much for watching.